Hey everyone, it's Crystal here. So, how can you find strength to overcome burnout and the symptoms of burnout and what's happening to you while you're experiencing burnout? And during this time, you can feel overly stressed. You could feel really unmotivated to even want to do anything, to carry on, to even tackle this at this point. And that's understandable. You've lost your good energy to pull you through, to keep up the good fight, to just make everything ameliorate and better. And during this time, you may not be thinking very clearly or be very action prone or in a good problem solving space mentally. So, what can you do to regain the strength? Because we need that strength to pull us out and pull us through and fight onward to the end line, to the finish line, to the goal. So, what do we need to do in order to get there? Finding strength really comes from within, and it is a mental state. It is a mental desire, a mental wish that you really want to have a better outcome, to change your situation, to have the outcomes different, to feel better. And when you really finally desire a huge change rather than constantly moving in the direction that you have been at the current state and time, that's when all the resources will become available to you. You'll notice that maybe a therapist popped up on your screen and they're speaking your lingo, and you really need to reach out to that person because they can help you move through it and work through your thoughts. Or maybe you seek out a homeopath who takes in your mental, physical wellness and state and tries to bring your whole state back to an alignment within. Or maybe you talk to a naturopath who has some really great resources about health and wellness and how to bring your body to a state where it's manageable and you can deal with things. And introduce maybe some things that you never thought about. And so these great resources will start popping up. Maybe your YouTube feed will show you some really great at-home remedies, some yoga videos or meditation, breathing, hobby videos, getting better at things that you used to love. Things like that, where you start realizing that these things are around you. Maybe you just never paid attention because you're so ingrained in burnout. But when we start opening up our mind and seeing what's around us and being more attentive and healing ourselves, that's when things start changing. And they start changing because we're noticing them and we're being more open to them and we're making them available to us and we're trying them out. And when you start changing your mind, which is the key part of all of this to start with, then everything changes along with it. And everything else is then a supplement to your healing. So think about it. When you're working through your mind, you need someone really great to help guide you through and break those unconscious beliefs that keep you stuck there. And they keep you stuck there because they've been ingrained without us even knowing them, which they create our attitudes, our feelings, our habits, our beliefs. And when you start breaking those down and reframing them and reshaping them, that's how we can start moving through to a different path of recovery and prevention for burnout. And then everything else is supplementary to healing. So maybe it's getting a great massage or getting some great acupuncture from a naturopath or diving into some quiet time for yourself or indulging in your hobbies or doing some things that really matter to you and really speak to you deep down and create that whole sense of alignment mentally, which then affects physically. So really that'll help build your strength because now you're being more aligned and in tune to actually the person that you want to be and who you are. And then you'll start dealing with things a whole lot differently as well. Because when you start feeling better, then things do change around you and they don't remain the same. And when you change, everything around you changes with you. And that could be somewhat challenging to understand, but be aware that when your perspective changes, and that's that dark, deep belief system that we have in our subconscious that created the burnout to begin with, when we start breaking those down and working those out and massaging them through and rebuilding something else, that's when we create freedom and release of these things, and then start moving on to developing some better coping skills, some better thoughts, some better feelings, and start carrying that with us rather instead, and making that more familiar. So just know that you can overcome burnout. It is possible and it is achievable, but it certainly does start in your mind. And I really suggest with burnout to have a mentor, to have a coach, to have a therapist walk you through your own thoughts, your mind that's keeping you stuck there. And that'll help restart the strength building. Because as we all know, when we're doing any workout, working out our muscles, working on our body, working on our mind, we have to start from somewhere. And sometimes you got to take the lightest weights to start there, or maybe even free weight, no weight at all, and just use your body weight to start somewhere and get better. And as you get better, things improve and you'll be able to carry more and more and more and more. And that's all it's about. It's building resilience, it's building strength, and we can all build more strength. So I hope you're able to get some value out of that today. I'll see you soon.